Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Discriminating Gamer. You know, I only ever learned 25 letters of the alphabet. I don't know why. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to go ahead and take a look at Dune Immortality, an expansion for Dune Imperium. We'll get back to the review in just a moment. I want to take a minute to ask you to check out my other channel, that is Cody Carlson PhD, where we talk about history, books on history, military history. I even post some of my lectures for my classes on there. Please check that out. Please subscribe to that channel. And now, back to the review. Dune Imperium, Immortality from Direwolf, is an expansion to Dune Imperium that adds the Bene Talax, these kooky genetic manipulators, genetic engineers who are looking to add some spice and sugar to your game of Dune. You're going to get a lot of new things with this expansion. You're going to get a family atomics marker. You're going to get a new Dune Bene Talax board. You're going to get about 30 new Imperium cards, about 18 or so Bene Talax cards. You're going to get, I think, 15 new intrigue cards and a few other little bells and whistles besides. First of all, when playing with this expansion, you're going to get rid of the 2 Dune Desert Planet starter cards, and instead you're going to add the starter cards of experimentation into your starter deck. Now, as you play the game, some different things are going to occur. As I say, you're going to set up the Bene Talax board. You're also going to have a research station overlay you place on the research station spot on the board. Now, as you're playing through this, you're going to have some different symbols pop up that's going to affect how you play the game. Whenever you play a card or gain a reward with the research icon on it, what that means is you're going to move your marker 1 space forward on the Bene Talax board. And a lot of times you have choices, and they're going to give you different rewards, different things that you can gain throughout it. When you get to about the 3rd level, you're also going to get some kind of permanent ongoing rewards. You're going to get genetic markers, which will give you access to more abilities on cards. And then also, if you buy the Bene Talax cards, you're going to be able to put those on the top of your deck. If you make it to the end of the track, you also get to, whenever that research icon marker pops up, you get to just draw another card. You also have above the track there another track. It's just a straight line. But there are victory points on that track, and there's access to different rewards like spice and other things. And this is associated with the beetle. Whenever you see the little beetle symbol, you get to move your guy along, you get to move your marker along that track. Now you also have the Bene Talax deck right next to it. Now, you're going to put out 2 random Bene Talax cards, and then you're going to also have the Reclaim Your Forces card, which can never be purchased. It always remains there. Essentially, how this works is you are also, throughout the course of the game, going to get this cube symbol. And if ever you get the cube symbol, you get to place one of your forces, either your cube or your figure, depending on which edition you're playing with, onto the board off to the side. And you can spend those for currency to essentially buy the Bene Talax cards, the Talaxu cards there. And these cards are going to grant you different powers, different things. They come into your deck normally, like I say, unless you get to that spot on the track where you can put them on the top of your deck when you get them. But they allow you to do some different and interesting things in the game. But you also have the Reclaim Forces card, which just sits there. And a Reclaim Forces card essentially lets you do one of 2 things. You can either, if you go there, if you spend your cubes, your guys to go there, essentially what you do is you can either gain 2 troops for your garrison, or you can get a beetle symbol and again move along the beetle track. So moving along the beetle track is very important because it gets you those extra points, and you don't need a ticket to ride. Now, some of these new cards have a graft ability. So essentially, whenever you play a graft card, you can't play it alone. You have to play a graft card with another card. But you go ahead, you play those cards together, and you can send an agent to any space on either of the cards, and you get all the abilities from those cards. There's a few other little things going on with graft, but that's basically it. Now, as I mentioned, every player also has a Family Atomics token. Any player at any time on their turn can play the Family Atomics token, and what this does is it essentially eliminates all of the cards in the Imperium row. You set them aside, you discard them, and then you put out 5 new cards. So now you have these new cards to draw from in order to purchase. The game also comes with some new House Hagel cards, and of course markers for these new tracks. And that is essentially what this new expansion brings to your game of Dune Imperium. So my friends and I played this recently, and we played the full thing. We played with Rise of Ix and with Immortality. And there's a lot going on. The game actually feels quite different from just the base game. In fact, when you're playing the base game of Dune Imperium, it seems like it's all about those battles, those conflicts. Now, they're still important, but what we found as we played was if there weren't victory points up for grabs, we weren't as up for fighting as you are in other games of Dune Imperium. There's so many places to go, especially if you play this with the Rise of Ix and Immortality. There's so much more going on here. But with respect to Immortality, first of all, I really like the Family Atomics thing. That was cool, because a lot of times you're playing it, there's just no cards you're really interested in. So that's a great way to cycle through the deck. And there's so many cards now. That stack is so high now. So it's good to be able to cycle through those a lot more easily with those Family Atomics. Now, as far as research goes, it's interesting going along that board is pretty interesting, because it's another way to get like smaller little rewards along the way that can really help you out when you need it. And then of course the Beatles track is really, really important. It's again, there's like 2 victory points on that track up for grabs, as well as some smaller things there as well. So that's really important. But I really like the new cards that are on play here. I really like the Benny Talax cards because they're unusual. They're really fun and interesting cards. And then of course the Imperium ones are really cool as well that this game brings, as well as the intrigue. Some of the intrigue cards are pretty cool. But what I really like too is that graft. It's a way to kind of like make cards into super cards, and you get different abilities and you get different rewards and you go to different places. So I think graft works really well, and it's a really fun. Now, like I say, playing with everything here, playing with Rise of Ix and Immortality, it's amazing. It's not overwhelming. You would think it would be. It's not. The systems integrate really, really well. But the only issue, really, from that perspective, is there's so much more to do, and there's so many things to choose from. And it's almost, you kind of get some analysis paralysis, because it's kind of hard to choose a strategy when there's so many cool things you can do and so many avenues you can pursue. So that's interesting. In fact, I know one of the people I was playing with said he was focusing more on the Rise of Ix stuff than the Immortality or the base game stuff, because he was trying to get more technologies and stuff. So, I mean, that's a viable solution. Which makes me wonder, should I play this again without Rise of Ix, just the Immortality? I suppose I could, but honestly, I kind of like all of those different choices. And I think what this game does, what any good expansion does, is it gives you more stuff to do without getting in the way of what's really cool about the game. Now, like I say, you can still pursue those combats. There's nothing holding you back. But there's just different choices there. And there's no one magic key to victory here, so you're legitimate in your quest to find out what these different things are doing. I really liked playing with it all. I thought to me, it felt like a more epic game, and it felt even like a more thematic game in a lot of ways. To me, because just bringing the genetic stuff with the Benny Talax, and I'm a big fan of the books, so it all kind of fits here. My only real criticism here, and this is not even a gameplay criticism, is storage. I bought the deluxe version of Dune Imperium, and I can't fit all the cards in that tray now. So I got rid of the Rise of Ix box, because the Rise of Ix stuff all fits in there just beautifully. But with all the new cards from Immortality, it just doesn't all fit in that box. So that kind of bums me out that I got to have 2 boxes now. First world problems. But that's it. That's my only real problem. I really think this is a great expansion. I think this is a great game. And if you like Dune Imperium, I think you'll really get a kick out of it. It will add, as I say, some more spice and sugar to your game. So the recommendation for Dune Imperium Immortality is buy it. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, once again for joining us on The Discriminating Gamer. As always, we ask you to please leave a comment for us on YouTube, on Board Game Geek, on our Facebook page, or on thediscriminatinggamer.com. We ask you to please like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and follow us on Twitter. I'd also ask you to please, ladies and gentlemen, please subscribe to this channel. I really wanted to see it grow, and I appreciate all of you so far who have helped me get to that point. So thank you so much. But also, too, I'd ask you to check out my other channel, that is Cody Carlson, PhD, where we talk about military history, books on history. I post some of my lectures up there. Please subscribe to that. I would appreciate that as well. Please give a thumb to this video on Board Game Geek. Again, it helps us out. You know, ladies and gentlemen, I got kind of nervous because I heard just the other day that locally there was a kidnapping at the elementary school. It's all right. He woke up.
Cow.
He wants that point.
I want that point.
He got screwed out of his victory last time.
I spent 6 spice for that.